First time in a long time, but back like I never left. Taking these things as it comes, you know me, I don't read ahead. Watch me burn down everything, BDE on the TV set. When I'm in control on the road, you can never really know what's up next.
Hello.
Hello.
Braden Herrington here with Davie Portman for upNXT, postwrestling.com, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Podcast Addict.
Yeah, everywhere. Just
all
everywhere.
All the podcasts. Welcome to upNXT. We review NXT wrestling every Thursday for postwrestling.com. However, we do this special show after an NXT TakeOver. We like to do the upNXT HangOver. And I believe it's
HangOver 7.
Wow.
I'm sure we've had a few more than that.
Yes, we have. Because not only was it a NXT TakeOver, it was also TakeOver in our own city because it was TakeOver Toronto. So we took over Toronto. We really did. We legit took over Toronto because we had our NXT TakeOver TailGate. Now, we talked about it on our TakeOver post show that we did Saturday with the whole crew there. Go check that out on our feeds for the TakeOver Toronto post show. I feel like I feel like people think I'm negative on that show.
Yeah, no, I agree. We've had a few bits of feedback.
They hate us.
I think the thing is, we've both been to a few takeovers, and you know what you're used to when you're going there. The quality of wrestling, don't get me wrong, was fantastic. I hold NXT so highly.
Right.
Whereas I think SummerSlam, people go in kind of shitting on the main product and then going, hey, that was a lot of fun, that was good. Whereas I think expectations are so high for NXT that when it doesn't quite... No, I mean, it did deliver. Don't get me wrong, it did deliver. For me, as I mentioned in the show, the crowd might have held it back a bit. People have said on TV it seemed fine. The crowd seemed hot, so that's awesome. But you got to remember when you're there in person, you don't have the commentary as well. You don't have Mauro, who really sells everything.
Mama effing Mia.
Exactly. But no, I love the show. Just it wouldn't be my top takeover.
No, I would say the same thing. I still had a lot of fun going to the shows. The matches were a lot of fun. I went to... I think we both did the same shows. I did a TakeOver and SummerSlam.
Yeah.
And you did those too?
Exactly.
I did Progress on Thursday and Ring of Honor on the Friday night as well. So I was just wrestled out.
Yeah.
I've been watching too much wrestling this week.
While we're on the subject of TakeOver, I did get a message from Gareth from the GRAPPL app, who sent me some information. And it seems the GRAPPL listeners pretty much agreed with what we said. As we said, it wasn't one of the best takeovers.
Okay.
So I've actually got the ratings of every takeover ever.
Whoa.
And where Toronto stands in comparison.
Okay.
And then we can, while we get to the recap of each match during the show, I can give the score that GRAPPL gave for that. But so on a rating of 1 to 5, TakeOver Toronto got a rating of 3.62.
Oh, okay.
Which is still good. It's way over half, and still pretty high score. New Orleans got 4.16. New York got 4.15. They're the two top takeovers ever. And the lowest rated NXT TakeOver, according to GRAPPL, is San Antonio.
Yeah, okay.
I can't even remember what was on that one.
Right, okay.
But yeah, so this is, according to the GRAPPL users, this was the second worst TakeOver.
Damn.
I don't like to use the word worst.
I know.
Let's say...
Least exciting.
What is it, 10th best or something like that?
Listen, kid, you're not last, but you're second.
But last. Don't get me wrong. I love the show.
I feel like maybe I was a little negative on our post show, and people were tweeting us at the Brady at Davie Portman, and I want to make it clear. I still had a really fun time. We just had a long weekend essentially. This whole thing was like a mini WrestleMania weekend, but here in our own backyard, literally. So when people are traveling for these wrestling shows, it just felt weird because everyone was just okay, so where are we going now? And it's well, I know everywhere we're going. I know everything because I live here. So it was just fun. We had quite the time, though. We're going to review this week's episode of NXT because it's literally just like 2 matches. We'll get to the NXT Breakout Tournament further, but I feel like people want to hear us talk about the real big event of the weekend, which was our tailgate.
Yeah.
Because we did a lot of stuff this past Saturday. We had our Mario Kart tournament.
Yeah, and you did exactly what you told everyone you do. You won. You've got the trophy. That. Oh, wait, no. What happened? You got knocked out in the first round.
I'm like Okada. He shouldn't even have to be in the G1. The winner
you even
should
insisted you get Luigi, so you got your Luigi and everything, and you lost.
This guy.
You lost to Sean Coulter.
Sean Coulter. Sean Coulter. You did it. You beat me. It was a close race.
The legend killer.
The legend killer,
Sean Coulter.
This is how... there's a picture of me from the event. I put it on my Instagram and Twitter. It's the second I lost. You see me screaming at the TV. I did lose.
You know who knocked out Sean Coulter?
Who did?
Me.
Oh, well, yeah, you're nothing. You're easy to beat. This guy, Sean Coulter, came out of nowhere. What, did he even buy a ticket to this fucking thing? I feel like a classic heel here, and 2 out of 3 falls. I need a.
It was definitive. It was this wasn't even the final, Braden. You lost in the first round.
What do you call it?
You don't have a leg to stand on.
What's the one where you have like 3 or 4 races? Like when you do 4 races in a row.
A Grand Prix?
Yeah. If it was a Grand Prix, it would have fucking washed him. However,
well, if that's the case, we need to get all 17 other competitors in the room to get that going, and I don't think that will ever happen with those same people ever again.
Look. All I'm saying is, what kind of party would it be if I'm there winning my own tournament? That wouldn't be fun. I can't be, you know. I had to give him one.
I actually got a very nice email from Sean yesterday, just thanking us for the event, saying how much he enjoyed it. But I was listening to our TakeOver review,
right?
And we started off the show, if you remember, kind of with our conspiracy theory hats on, about ticketing and StubHub and all that.
Sure.
And he said he got a ticket upstairs, and people were actually walking around handing out tickets to
go downstairs,
sort of paper the downstairs to fill it up. So definitely, I've never heard of that happening at a TakeOver, at least in recent years for TakeOver. So
interesting. Well,
not a really good sign. And I'm sure if they just had them all on sale on the regular market to start with, I think attendance would have been way better.
Watching it back, it definitely looked like it was more fuller than it felt. It definitely felt not sold out.
I mean, WWE know how to shoot their product and make it look hot.
Well, Sean also... So 2 other listeners, and I'm blanking on your name, but you know who you are. You both know who you are. A lovely married couple. They gave us some prizes to give away because they booked their whole SummerSlam weekend, and they decided, you know what, we don't want to go to some of the meet and greets, and we don't want to go to SmackDown. So they said, here's some SmackDown tickets to me and you. And they said, deal with them with you. If you want to go to SmackDown, go to SmackDown. You want to give them out as a giveaway for your tailgate, like, do whatever. And I thought that was so kind. And I told myself, he gave me the tickets right at the beginning of our tailgate, and I put them in my back pocket. And I said, whoever wins the Mario Kart tournament is going to win these SmackDown tickets. That's who I'm going to give them to. Sean beat me in the first round of the Mario Kart tournament. I gave him the SmackDown tickets. I said, you know what? I don't even care who wins. You technically win. That was the... You see
yourself way too highly.
I was like, you know what, Sean? I said, are you going to any wrestling? He's like, I'm going to TakeOver and SummerSlam, and me and the wife don't want to do any other shows. I said, well, what are you doing Tuesday? He said, I don't know. I said, okay, you know what? You're going to SmackDown now. Here you go. I'm a good sport, see? The winner, though, got our little trophy, and they got the meet and greet.
Meet and greet, yeah. Yes. Kelly Hudson, who won the tournament, beat me in the final in a very exciting race.
And... so
on Rainbow Road,
yes, that was the big reveal at the end, that the finals had to take place on Rainbow Road.
And Kelly was drinking his Red Bull out on that trophy. He'd been carrying it around all weekend. He's very proud.
Oh, wait a second, Kelly, your friend Kelly doesn't drink.
No.
That could have been a factor in the tournament.
I was barely drinking that day.
It was part of the rules. It wasn't part of the rules, so he's fine. He's fine. So I had a lot of fun with the Mario Kart tournament. But so I was like nice and gave Sean these tickets. Right, the next day, Sunday for SummerSlam. We didn't buy tickets for SummerSlam yet. We were just kind of coasting around, waiting to see if we can pick up some tickets or something like that. What we can buy. And at John and Way's post-wrestling meetup show, the show, which was awesome, by the way, at the John Candy Box Theater, these two guys were leaving the show. They said, hey, this guy named Liam came up to me. He said, hey, I love listening to your show. Do you, by any chance, need a SummerSlam ticket? Because we had an extra one, and we can just, give it away. I was like, oh, my goodness, that sounds like too kind. I can't take that. But I ended up taking it, and I ended up sitting with Liam and Mark from Ottawa, so shout out you two guys, because you guys were amazing, giving me a free ticket. I felt like it was just karma for me giving Sean, for allowing Sean to beat me at Mario Kart. It was karma that I got to go to SummerSlam. And then, like a few matches into the show, another buddy of mine was sitting like in the media section, like kind of the hard cam part. He told me to come sit with him, so I did, and I'm a few seats over from Billy Corgan. From Smashing Pumpkins, and they played Toronto like 2 nights ago, so it was him. But I said to my friend, look, it's Billy, I think that's Billy Corgan, and he heard me say his name, so then he put his hat real low and didn't want anything to do with me, so I didn't bug him. I feel bad bugging people. Like, I don't want a photo necessarily, I just want to be like, hey, I love your music and I hate TNA, so we can get along. But yeah, so shout out Liam and Mark again for the SummerSlam tickets. But we're just because we're doing shout outs at this very moment. Albert, our photographer for the NXT TakeOver tailgate,
who was fantastic.
Oh my goodness, was he ever? Go check out our photos again on my Instagram at the Brady. I posted a few there. Where there's a bunch more, but this guy is just a listener. He says he was listening. He asked us if he could try taking some photos of us. I said, hey, we're throwing an event. Why don't you come to this instead? It would look really cool. We would love to have some photos. So he did. So I do have to promote him because, again, his photos are amazing. So if you're looking for like wedding photographers on Instagram, go to still_frame_stories. But his other one, like the one he's trying to branch away from wedding. I think a lot of photographers are always trying to do that. And he is at cleanfinish.online is his thing on Instagram. But I also just ran into him after SummerSlam, and I was like, hey, you were my photographer, Albert, amazing. And he was with his son, Riley. He took his kid to Riley. And you take your kid to wrestling, I already love you even more. But I was talking to his son, Riley, about Bray Wyatt. Because think about it. Me and you were adults. We got to see some scary creature come out. Now I got a kid's perspective. I was like, hey, kid, Riley, what'd you think of this scary? And he was like, it was my favorite part of the entire show. So, Riley, thank you for listening, because I know Albert listens in the car. I wonder how many listeners listen to us in the car with their kids. And
yeah, now I'm worried. Because I saw that email from Albert as well and was like, oh, maybe should...
Yes, I say a lot of things that kids shouldn't be repeating. So, Riley, if you ever hear me say things you don't know, don't Google it. Don't even think about it. So again, thank you for all that, and thank you for like all the people that came. We had such a party.
Yeah, I'd love to get your feedback. If you could just like go onto Twitter or Instagram, DM me at Davie Portman. I'd love to know what you think, because we want to do more of these. I want to know what you think worked at the event, what didn't work. I wasn't particularly happy with some of the tech stuff. It didn't go quite how I wanted it, although I think everyone still seemed to enjoy it. What you'd like to maybe see again? I think we first thought we might do a show that we put out, and then just judging the room. I think everyone was having fun, so we kept the Q&A pretty short, and I think that was the right thing to do.
I think so too.
I think a lot going to John and Way's the next day. We're having sort of the proper post-wrestling Q&A.
Yeah, John and Way do the serious show, and we're having the party.
And I think that was fine. Do you think the Mario Kart tournament worked? What would you like to see if we do another one of these? So, as I said, everyone's been super positive, but I'd love some feedback. So yeah, just at Davie Portman.
We weren't worried, but we were like, what if people are here to like watch us do this show. We got to like do a whole podcast. We had all the gear ready to record. We were doing everything like that. But then we realized, our fear, not fear, but like our one like worry was that people maybe weren't going to like party.
Yeah.
Like they were just going to sit and want us to talk. And like, that's kind of not what we were all about. And we learned very, very quickly that visitors from literally all over the world, from like Halifax, Australia, we had people from everywhere.
I think the guys from New Brunswick really won the tailgate.
Man. Wow.
Like Kelly might have won the Mario Kart tournament, they won tailgate because they were on another planet.
They definitely used the word tailgate. Like that is what it was. So like I said, we were like, oh man, is it going to be like? Hopefully, it's a cool environment because. We wanted all the wrestling fans to come in together and have fun and make new friends and meet new people. And I feel like that's what happened. I feel like everyone just was having a good time drinking the fancy drinks.
Yeah.
The Tranquilo was a popular favorite. There was a listener, I believe his name was Robert. He bought one of our shirts. He also tried every single drink on our menu, which I think a bunch of people tried. All of these drinks were amazing. So hats off to you for creating some of these fantastic cocktails. But I would have to say the greatest idea for a wrestling-themed drink is not necessarily a drink, but it was the idea you came up with. The Royal Rumble shot.
Oh, yeah.
I think I got the most... People were coming up to me being like, this is the smartest idea ever.
So basically it was $5 for a shot. Mm-hmm. And I said to Shannon and Morgan, who were both working the event for us, said, it's the Royal Rumble shot. So it's random. Anyone, anything could come up. So they were just making shots. They were deliberately making some disgusting shots, and people were all about it. So yeah, that went down really well. And
so you order a shot.
Thank you to Shannon and Morgan, who were tremendous.
They were so good. Yeah, we had our lovely bartenders, and everyone just had so much fun. And that's what like mattered for me.
We do have some awesome pictures from Albert, and I can't remember his buddy's name who's doing the videos.
But I love you too.
But yeah, thank you so much. I'm sorry. We have some awesome pictures and videos from them. I'm going to work on something, hopefully post in the next couple of days on our YouTube channel, BDE Official. So you can see all the pictures, all the videos.
Well, you want to see the video. If you're listening to this right now, you got to check out this specific video that is now on the YouTube.
That's already up there. Yes. The What Does Gargano v. Almas and Chill mean to you?
So we got this video that has some friends of the show talking about their thoughts on Gargano versus Almas and Chill. And a few months ago, we were sitting here in the BDE.
It was about a month, I think.
A month ago, we were sitting here in the BDE. And we were thinking, what would be funny for this video about Gargano and Almas? And I think we had a few pops. And you decided to DM Johnny Gargano. And you were like, hey, I think you said, I fucking love this match. I'm obsessed with it. Blah, blah, blah. He didn't reply. It was whatever. A week to the tailgate. You get a message from Johnny Wrestling himself being like, yeah, that sounds like a lot of fun. And... He
provided such a good video. You can see it on there. And also, happy belated birthday. It was Johnny Gargano's birthday yesterday. Yes. So thank you very much to him.
So are you two like best friends now? Or?
Absolutely. Besties.
Right. We're still friends though.
Second best.
Right. Oh, wait. I'm moving now to second.
Yeah.
Okay.
I've got one more story from the weekend.
Okay.
And it's from the O'Reilly's Raw.
You mean O'Grady's?
Oh, sorry, O'Grady's. I'm getting confused with Albert's son. It was from O'Grady's for the watch along of Raw.
Yeah.
Now I'm mingling around. I have some friends visiting who were at the back of the bar, and then there was like Jesse from the Six and WH and other people at the front. So I said to the people working. Now I'm a server. I'm a bartender. I know what can be annoying and what's not.
Sure.
And I just said, hey, look, I'm going to be back and forth. I know that's going to be annoying for you. I will run 2 tabs. If I order a drink from you, put it on your tab. If I order from them, put it on theirs.
What a professional.
And then I'll just pay both tabs at the end because I don't want you to like be swapping me around or whatever. I'll order from both. So I told this girl, yeah, that's fine. I'm at the front and talking to John, and like in a little group, and he goes, oh yeah, some fucking asshole walked out on his bill, so I've had to pay for his drinks.
Oh, no.
And he's like, oh, it's not much. It was like 2 drinks, but yeah. And then it ends, I'm there a bit later, John's gone by this point, and I get my bill from one of the servers.
Yes.
Pay it, and then go up to the other girl who was serving at the front and go, hi, I owe you for 2 drinks. And she goes, oh, I thought you walked out.
Oh.
So, sorry, John, I was that fucking asshole who walked out on their bill. So I owe you a drink at some point.
You owe John.
But I was like, oh no, I said to the other girl to do 2, and she's like, oh, some guy called Jay paid for it.
I heard it. I was standing next to her. She also stood right in front of me and goes, Braden! And I'm like, I'm right here. Hello, hi. And she's like, Braden! Is there a Braden? Where is I'm like, I'm literally right in front of you. I'm like, hello, hi.
The thing was, when I ordered the first drink, she goes, and I'm going to put you on Rob's tab. And I was like, I don't know who Rob is. Can you just put it on my tab? So yeah, sorry, John. Thanks for the drinks.
That's a smart way to get some free drinks next time. Just go into a thing, order. Say your name is Jay.
Yeah.
Say your name's Rob. Doesn't matter. Just get some free pops. Well, that was pretty fun, going to O'Grady's with a bunch of the... Like, I was too young when the law was doing O'Grady Raws there, but it was pretty cool. I like watching wrestling at bars with groups of people.
Yeah.
Wrestling's more fun when you watch it with people, I think. Like, more... You get more excitement and stuff like that. But I'm pretty wrestled out. Like, this whole weekend was just, like... tons of wrestling.
I always think that, and then a week later, I'm like, I could do some wrestling again.
This whole weekend I've just been so busy, and like now I'm back at work and stuff. I just haven't watched the end of the G1 yet.
Oh, damn!
So I got to watch that today. I'm going to watch
good stuff like that.
I got to watch the end of it right after this. But I got to watch like some progress when it came, and I went to Sneaky D's for some nachos with Scrump, and NXT UK just all walked in. They were all eating some nachos, but I won't bug people when they're eating food. If it was drinking, though, I'd be all over talking to some Tony Storm. It was so cool to have all this. But literally, my favorite part this weekend was the tailgate that we threw, just because it was like meeting people who listen. You don't know if people listen to you or if they just like know of us, and it was just an interesting and exciting thing. I just liked partying with all these people, and we want to do it again. And if we get a chance to, we'll definitely do it.
Absolutely.
So shout out to everyone who came, and shout out to all the people who were like, "Hey, I can't come, but I want to be there in spirit." And thank you so much, because it meant so much to us. So we had a lot of fun. It was wild. It was lit AF, as some people would say. Yeah. So that was this weekend. Holy cow! I'm still hungover, I think, from this. So how are you? How are you doing this week now that the wrestling's out of the system?
Oh, it's weird because my mum was in town for 3 weeks. Well, not in town. We were moving around a bit.
Yeah.
But I was with my mum for 3 weeks, which I like. That sounds a lot of time to spend with someone, and I was surprised. Like, normally you kind of get to each other, especially parents and kids.
Sure.
Like, I had such a nice time.
Well, your mother's like a sweet lady. How are you going to...
Yeah, and obviously I don't see her much because I live here. Mm-hmm. It was awesome. We went to Stratford, saw some shows there, went all around Toronto, went to Halifax in Nova Scotia, my first time outside of Ontario, which was lovely. It's so nice. Had so much great food.
Seafood?
Yeah, seafood every day. It was amazing. Had lobster for the first time.
You've never had lobster?
No, I'd never had lobster before.
Okay, what do you think?
It was good. It's too fiddly. I don't like...
Fiddly?
Yeah, I just give me a steak that I can cut up and eat. I don't... Like, it tastes great, but I find it's too much work for not enough meat. I found that I had crawfish in New Orleans, and I felt the same there.
Crawfish definitely is too much work to get the little... But I'm Portuguese, and I like crab over lobster. And crab is like way cheaper than lobster. So I just always found that interesting. That I like lobster, but the lobster you ate, you took a picture of, looked massive.
Oh, it was great.
Yeah.
It was. Don't get me wrong, it was delicious.
Right? Yeah.
Just I'm like, it's so much work.
Yes.
And because neither of us had it before, we had to have instructions. Like a look, you had to read. My mum had to get her glasses out to eat her food.
Munja cake.
But yeah, so it was. she left on the Friday night. Her flight was delayed she was meant to leave at 3 p.m.
Okay.
She got an email earlier in the day saying it's delayed because of an IT failure at Heathrow Airport, which has basically grounded like 200 flights.
Jeez.
Then she got an email at 6 p.m. going, hey, your plane is still in London.
That's fucked.
England, not Ontario.
Yeah.
She eventually flew at 2 a.m. the next day. So I took her to the airport, picked up MJ from NJ, because he pretty much landed same time I dropped my mum off. We had a night, and then had the tailgate the next day, followed by the post show.
Just go.
SummerSlam all Sunday, and it wasn't really until kind of yesterday where I was like, oh, my mum's gone home, and felt a little sad, but didn't have time to think about it.
Yeah, you didn't look very sad Sunday night.
Sunday, you know what? Saturday was stressful for me. It was a long,
I've
stressful
known you
day.
for a little while now, and we weren't sitting together at SummerSlam, and then like when the event ended, you were like, "Okay, meet at this bar. We're gonna go for some karaoke." I'm like, "Cool, perfect." And me and my friends meet up with your friends at karaoke at Toby's, and we take one look at you, and I don't think I've ever seen you look that.
Oh my word,
that inebriated.
I just wanted to relax and enjoy myself.
You like ordered
wing.
You ordered 2 pounds of wings to go.
Yeah,
and then you didn't pay for it, but then you were like, "Oh, I've paid for this," and I was like, "No, dude, you didn't pay for these." You're like, "No, I paid for these." You're just trying to steal shit at bars these days.
It's like John's got it.
John's not here. No, John's
got it.
So
put it on the post wrestling account.
The black card. So then so you had a good SummerSlam, obviously, because you were on another.
Oh, I don't really. I remember Goldberg.
Of course, you remember Goldberg. Dolph Ziggler's like that Will Ferrell character in Austin Powers. He just.
I think listener of the show and contributor Mike Hogan put it best. It's Monty Python. It's the "I'm not dead yet" thing.
Which was from Holy Grail.
I think
it's a flesh wound.
That one Camelot. Yeah,
it's a flesh wound. Yeah,
exactly.
Yeah. That was so you don't remember anything, just Goldberg. Gotcha.
I remember Goldberg, and I think Trish was there.
I think she was there.
The main event, there was Pyro. I remember that.
What show did you?
The Fiend was good.
Yeah,
Fiend was great.
What show did you like better, TakeOver or SummerSlam? I like SummerSlam more than TakeOver, which is weird coming out of my mouth.
I was able to enjoy SummerSlam more because I was just watching it.
Sure.
TakeOver was noting, so
fair.
It didn't allow me to enjoy it as much.
I've been to a lot of wrestling shows in my life, but I have to say the Fiend entrance was one of the coolest things. It gave me goosebumps. The new scary music, the lights and everything. I thought that was cool. I really like when horror movies can mix with my wrestlings, and I thought that was really sweet. Yeah, it was weird that I liked SummerSlam more than I liked TakeOver, but I still liked it. I mean, match of the weekend was still Io Shirai versus Candice LeRae. So I mean, but still, I quite enjoyed SummerSlam. Now I'm wrestled out. Now I'm like tapped in out of.
Well,
wrestling.
you can't because we've got to talk about more wrestling.
Man. I have a non-wrestling story. Something happened to me this week. It's nothing. Literally, like if you're just waiting for the NXT review, skip 5 minutes ahead because this is just something that has been griping with me just this past week. Non-wrestling. I was at work like a week ago. Last week, before all this SummerSlam weekend started, and it was like nighttime at work. Like I was doing an overnight. And so it's like 5 o'clock in the morning. And a friend of mine, who I haven't seen once in a while, we used to be cool, she messages me, texts me, and at 5 in the morning, being like, I don't know if you're up, but I could really use your help right now. I was like, oh my God, like, are you okay? What's going on? She says, I went to this house party at 5 o'clock in the morning outside Toronto. Someone stole my purse at the house party. I can't get home. I'm fucked. Like, everything's fucked. I'm like, oh, okay, like, what do you want me to order you an Uber or something? She's like, yeah, like, can you just somehow get me home and, like, I'll pay you back right away. I was like, yeah, for sure. Like, I know this person. It's fine. We used to be a thing. It's cool. I order them an Uber. You can order Ubers to, like, the place where you're not. Like, I can order an Uber in the U.S. and it can go get you. Like, I don't have to be where it is. So I order her the Uber. Her phone dies before the Uber got there, but I had told her the license plate in the car. I'm like, don't move where you are. This car. She's like, my phone's at 2%. Like, I'm fucked. She gets the Uber, She takes it home. I can see because the app now shows me on my phone where the Uber driver's taking her, which is cool and safe. She gets home. She plugs in her phone. She says, "Thank you so much. Oh my God! Tomorrow I got to go through all my bank stuff because my cards, my cards were stolen. Purse was stolen. I'll e-transfer you tomorrow, or like she knows where I live. Like I'll come over and just give you $20. I'm like, yeah, no worries. $17 Uber. No problem. It's now been a week, and now the person is avoiding me. Won't reply to any of my messages. Won't reply. Like, cheekily, I'm like, hey, that's $17. You know me. I'm a cheeky little fuck. Started sending gifts like, bitch, better have my money. Nothing. No reply. I'm sending the Liam Neeson. I will find you and I will kill you. I've been sending everything. So, yesterday I finally had enough. It's been a week now. Had enough. Sent her a message. I said, well, the least you could do is send me a charitable receipt for the $17 I donated to you. Left me on red. Now on her Instagram story, she's posting her story as if she's living life. I haven't done this yet, but my next step is to start commenting on all her shit and being like, where's my money? Where's my money? Where's my $17? You see, it's not the principle of the 17. It's just the principle of the $17. I helped you when you needed it, and you turn your back on me. So I don't know. What's your advice on getting my $17 back?
I just asked John for it.
I don't think I'm getting it back.
Yeah, I'd say
I was a nice person. I was like, wow, this woman, she's in peril. She needs help. Damsel in distress. I'll order you an Uber. I'm a hero. And then boom. This is what happens when you're...
You know what's going to happen now is people listening are just going to go, Braden, help. Help, I'm
I need
stuck.
an Uber. I need an Uber from one end of the country to the other. So, I love Uber, but I'm out $17 for an Uber I didn't even get in. So I don't even know if I should rate him 5 stars or not.
Oh yeah, don't punish him.
Don't punish the Uber driver.
I might have said this before. My girlfriend doesn't like wearing her seatbelt, and I'm all about safety. So I always go, if you don't put it on, I'm rating this Uber driver 1 star.
You can't do this to me.
I can. It's his responsibility or her that everyone in the car wears their seatbelt. If he's not insisting, 1 star, motherfucker. I don't know this guy. It works as well.
We took an Uber from the tailgate afterwards, and we brought Kyrie. I have some pictures on my phone of me and MJ from
MJ loved Kyrie.
Did he steal her?
No, she's back.
She's back in your room already? Oh, how fitting. MJ from MJ, by the way, Post Wrestling Universe. He's a funny guy. He came to Toronto. He's literally here for 2 nights. He has a hotel for 2 nights. Dude doesn't slow him down nothing. He's on the Tinder. He's doing the Tinder Plus swipes. And then I learned something. There's this app called J-Swipe.
Yep.
Did you know about it already?
Yeah, when you match, it goes Mazel Tov.
No, it doesn't.
It does.
Are you fucking
No,
with me?
but at least it used to. I have my friends Lev and Elliot. They were all on about it in. There was San Francisco for 31.
Oh
they
God.
were all about J-Swipe.
He was talking about. MJ was telling me. I learned about J-Swipe. I don't think I can join. I'm not Jewish. I don't know.
I'm definitely not Jewish.
That is a joke.
It's a British thing.
yeah, that is an inside joke, but I think everyone understands. Yeah, I'm interested. Like, can I join this app?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, I won't join it then. But I just thought that was interesting. And MJ, from NJ, I think it worked out for him. I think he found someone on J-Swipe here in the 6.
I think we're going to see him very soon.
Yeah, I think he's coming back, actually, because he's in love.
Yeah.
So everyone found love and happiness, and all our dreams came true. SummerSlam weekend in the 6, including Scrump. Scrump had a lot of fun here in Toronto. I took him out for a lot of ramen and Chinese food and bubble tea, and we got up to some shenanigans on our Thursday and Friday. So I just had a lot of fun, and it was great. But that's what's been going on in my life. I'm just still sad about the $17. Pissed off. That's how much one drink costed at SummerSlam.
Yeah, I can't remember. Probably. Yeah.
Yeah, you should check your credit card statement.
I'm not checking my statement. What happened.
Get John to cover it. Okay, well, I guess we should talk about some actual wrestling, because that's what this podcast is about, I believe. But before we get into this week's episode of NXT, there is some things going on in NXT like that didn't happen this week, like including the NXT tryouts that happened here in Toronto. They did it this past weekend, just outside in Mississauga, and there could be the next future of NXT here in these tryouts. A bunch of local guys and gals from Toronto and like Canada were all in this tryouts, but even Santino Marella's daughter had a tryout.
Santina
Marella. And this girl from Smash Wrestling, I've seen quite a bunch, and she was on the Progress show. Jody Threat, she was involved, and these guys from out east called the Voros Twins. I've been following them. They used to listen to the law, and they used to like comment on the stuff when I was help running the social medias, and I would go back and forth with them. I think they're very talented. They're two like blonde twins. We don't get enough twins in wrestling.
What are they called?
The Voros twins.
Okay.
They're from like Vancouver. Right. I have a feeling that we might be seeing some of them. I just think that they keep getting better and better and better. Cool. I think we could see them down the line. But it was really interesting to see like tryouts happen in our own backyard here. So maybe soon we'll see familiar faces from the indie feds here kind of being brought, because indie wrestling was very prominent this past weekend as well. Yeah. Like I know a lot of people are like, oh, it's WWE, it's SummerSlam, but the Smash Wrestling, there was like Destiny, there's this Union one. There's so many indie wrestling things, and I thought it was quite interesting. But another side story, I know I just said we would get into NXT. A buddy of mine was working for Smash, the Summit they called it. He was responsible for driving the like Shimmer, Stardom, all those wrestlers around, and I was like, wait a second, you're telling me that you may or may not have had Priscilla Kelly or Toni Storm in the back of your car, and you never thought to even call me once? You didn't think you needed someone to sit shotgun with you on these hard days of driving around in the city? So I was a little upset at that, but I digress. So yeah, what else happened in NXT wrestling this week? Because they also signed Santana Garrett.
Yep.
Santana Garrett.
And
Wonder
Austin
Woman.
Theory.
Austin Theory.
They've both checked into the PC.
Oh boy, you hear that? Austin Theory. Does that mean he's leaving Evolve?
Maybe.
Oh, damn! They just started pushing Evolve, and he's leaving it. That's quite interesting, though. He was in the crowd at TakeOver Toronto, and I guess I think he could be a pretty big star.
Yeah,
just from
I think
some
so.
of the stuff we've seen from him. And Santana Garrett looks like Wonder Woman, like the real life Wonder Woman. She just looks phenomenal, and she's pretty great as well. So they're just snatching everyone up on these indies. That's what they're doing. But this week on NXT TV, it was really not much like going on. This week, it was just like the pre-tapes from TakeOver.
Yeah,
Toronto.
we had a little bit of fallout from some of the matches, some
Yes.
interesting stuff backstage, stuff that I don't think either of us picked up during the show.
Right.
And we've got 2 matches. So
yeah,
shall we go into it?
Yeah, let's talk about this week's episode of NXT, the HangOver edition, if you will. August 14th, 2019 is the date. Now, these matches were filmed before TakeOver Toronto, so it is in the Scotiabank Arena, the ACC, if you're a real one. We saw recently the return of Fandango. Well, he's here tonight. It's going to be Fandango and Tyler Breeze versus the Forgotten Sons, with Jackson Riker ringside. Now, Fandango is wearing his gear again. We were talking about, will he, kind of change it up? But he looks like Chris O'Dowd, but ripped.
I don't see it at all.
You don't see Chris. He looks like Chris O'Dowd, but ripped. I don't know. Am I weird for thinking that? There's an early counter from Fandango. He counters a sunset flip and starts doing his dancing thing again. What does he call that? The Fandango dance?
I guess the Fandango.
The Fandango. He does that and starts being all sexy, moving his hips around. Riker somehow gets involved and pulls Fandango off the apron at some point, so Tyler Breeze cannot make the tag. The Forgotten Sons, Wesley Blake and the Forgotten One, keep attacking Tyler Breeze. They keep getting him. The referee finally throws Jackson Riker out. Fandango finally gets the hot tag, comes in. He's power slamming everyone like Randy Orton style, Goldust style, if you will. He then steals a move out of Johnny Gargano's playbook here, I'd say. He tornado DDTs one of the guys while running up the other one. It was very Johnny Gargano-like, if you've watched any of that, but looks cool. Then Fandango is just on fire, hits a tope to the outside on top of both guys. Back in the ring, they do a tag team. Tyler Breeze, it's like the whiplash where you kind of throw the guy into the air, and Fandango hits a forearm, then the elbow drop, and they get the win. Just like that.
Yeah, I quite like the finish. It was, I'm not sure which Forgotten Son it was. I can't quite remember.
The Forgotten one.
But was on the knees of Tyler Breeze.
Yeah.
Oh, that rhymes. And Fandango slingshots himself into an elbow. I thought it looked cool.
This tag team move is like classic old school tag team wrestling, and then they just use it as a finish. Is my only. I was like, oh, okay. I thought it was a little weak, but
okay. I thought it looked pretty cool
because it's classic tag team. The guy doesn't let go. It's like not a Boston Crab, but the guy's laying on the other guy's knees, and then he comes in and hits like a little elbow. I mean, what's Fandango's finisher anyway?
It's the leg drop.
Oh, it's the leg drop off like top rope.
Yeah.
Okay. I mean, you could have done that.
I thought this was quite fun. The crowd actually seemed quite hot for it.
Yeah.
Obviously, this is the first match of the whole weekend. They seemed pretty into it. I thought Fandango looked really good. And as we mentioned before, I'd like a gimmick change for both of them. Mm-hmm. I think they both have potential to actually put on some fun matches against the likes of Street Profits and Undisputed. I think the name Fandango, I just can't take it seriously. It was fine back when he was really doing all the comedy stuff, but if they want to be taken seriously, I just think Johnny Curtis, Tyler Breeze,
Johnny Curtis, Johnny Wrestling.
But I thought the match was pretty fun. Good opener.
Yeah, it wasn't terrible. I can't, they're in this gear, and it's like he's half-assing the Fandango dance too. I just find it strange, but everyone was doing it.
Yeah,
the Fandango dance is back. Maybe it'll be on the charts again. Who knows? So Fandango and Tyler Breeze, we'll see more of them in NXT, I'm sure. We get a recap of the North American Championship triple threat from last Saturday, and then we go to Kathy Kelly. She's backstage.
I just want to go in because I've got all the ratings for every match now. So according to GRAPPL, Dream versus Dunn versus Strong for the North American title was the third rated match of the show.
Okay.
With a 3.81.
Yeah, I would say it was my third favorite if I had to do that. Kathy Kelly, right after the match, is with Pete Dunne, and she says, you fell up short, you got pinned by Velveteen Dream. He says that I should be standing here just starting a reign on my new championship, but Velveteen Dream ruined that. He says, Velveteen Dream, I'm going to do whatever it takes to take the title from you and put it in my mouth, is what he said. He said, I can't wait to put the North American Championship in my mouth.
Yeah.
So, clearly that he's still going to chase
it. It looks like he's still going after it. Yeah. I didn't like his promo. I don't think he's very good when it comes to promos.
Yeah.
His logic, it's triple threat, it's no DQ.
And you're the one,
and you're the guy that bites people and snaps people.
I'm a little upset. Kayfabe, I'm a little upset. Roderick Strong pins Velveteen Dream in a tag team match weeks ago, is then granted a championship title opportunity. Then Pete Dunne, with no reason whatsoever, is thrown into that, and Pete Dunne takes the pinfall. Therefore, the interview should not have been with him. The interview should have been with Roderick Strong being like, yo, you added this fucking nunce into the match, and he loses. I should have won. I would have won if you didn't add this guy in here.
It wasn't very babyface of Dunne. He's just whining.
Yeah, you lost. You got pinned.
You lost. You shouldn't have been in the match.
Yeah.
I love Pete Dunne.
Yeah, me too. Yeah.
I didn't like this promo.
Kayfabe wise, storyline wise.
But I like that already. It's normally we go for the hangover, and sometimes the hangover of the hangover, we're going, what direction are they going?
Right.
I like that already with this, and later on we have some clear direction of some stories, I feel.
Yeah,
at least for TV matches.
I would like to see Pete Dunne versus Velveteen Dream 1-on-1. I think would be really, really good, especially a little TV program here down the line. So Pete Dunne says that, and he goes, "Oh, I'm Pete Dunne." We go now to a video package of the NXT Breakout Tournament. Remember? That was going on. The most lucrative tournament in all of pro wrestling in summer 2019.
My favorite.
Yeah, I mean, G1? Get out of here. The Breakout Tournament, it shows all the brackets here and all the people that were involved. And tonight, we will see the finals in the main event. But I thought this video package was actually pretty cool. It showed everyone. It showed everyone's...
showed all the high spots.
Yeah, it showed you some cool stuff. Unfortunately, like, my only gripe is that they just threw too many things at us at once with this. Like, they're just like, here's all these new guys, and like more than half of them are definitely gonna fall to the wayside, and probably already have. Just because it's in your mindset when they tell you, look at these jobbers, that's how you see them as. Like, that's how it is. But maybe some of them will break through because it's called the Breakout Tournament. But we'll get to the main event later because that is the finals there. But I just thought it was a cool package. Corey Taylor from Slipknot, he's here again. I love how he's been doing these. Is he like our new general manager?
He's the Jim Johnson of NXT, isn't he? Now he just does the music.
Last week it was like, hey, I'm Corey Taylor, just reminding you that we are not your kind. I was like, what the fuck does that even mean? And then now he's like, yo, I'm Corey Taylor. I loved NXT TakeOver on Saturday. And thanks for listening to this, and thanks for watching. And remember, we are not your kind because we are NXT.
I liked the theme for this takeover. I thought it was pretty cool.
It was heavy.
Especially when they were doing all the recaps and you get the choir seeing the bit. It made it quite dramatic.
We should go see Slipknot.
They used to do that at the end of WrestleMania. They'd do a highlight package of the whole show, and with whatever the song was for that year. My Way. Yeah, My Way's the one everyone thinks of, but they did it for a few years, and I miss them doing that. But I like that they do these recaps in NXT, because even though it's a recap, I go, oh yeah, that was cool, cool.
And it works.
Looks dramatic.
No, it totally works. Especially because the Io Shirai one with Poppy. Yeah, this one's crazy. I mean, the video of this song with the clips of Io Shirai and everything music like video that. It goes really so cool. Well. Yeah, go check, because I think they even put this on like their Twitter and YouTube. The Poppy Io Shirai music video. They should just make that the official Poppy music video. It's just Io Shirai doing Io Shirai things. I would watch it. It would get 1 million views in one day just from me clicking it, refresh on it. So Corey Taylor tells us to listen to some Slipknot. We get the recap of the tag team match. And it cuts now to Kathy Kelly chasing down Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly. But they are mad. They are backstage, and they're looking for William Regal. They're chasing for him. They are like, Regal, where are you? Where's William Regal? Kathy Kelly's like, hey, like, guys, why are you looking for William Regal? Like, what's going on? And Bobby Fish and Kyle O'Reilly, they're a little upset here. Bobby Fish says, TakeOver Toronto was supposed to be the night of the prophecy. You see, we started off the night. We were going to bat first. We were going to set the tone. We were going to set everything up, batting first to start the prophecy. But that didn't happen. And Kyle O'Reilly, he's very upset here. He's yelling, and I love angry Kyle O'Reilly. He's underrated. He says, since when in tag team wrestling is it okay for the illegal man to be pinned in the match?
Yeah, and I'm watching this and I'm going, what?
I was like, wait a second.
I don't remember this.
So, they then show footage of last Saturday at TakeOver, and they're right.
Yeah.
They are completely right. There was a tag made when Kyle got thrown into the corner. It's officially a tag. They tagged, but it didn't matter, and Kyle O'Reilly was pinned. So, they are deserving of a tag team title rematch.
Yeah.
If you ask me, holy cow, how could they let such anarchy?
Obviously is what happens when neither of us watch it on TV. Yes. I don't know if commentary picked up, called this out or not, or... I like how subtle it was that we don't find out till the week after, because it's
finish.
new material in the story.
Yeah.
According to GRAPPL, this was the fourth best match of the show. Street Profits versus Undisputed Era, rated a 3.64.
I thought that match was still fun.
Yeah, it was good.
Definitely.
Solid.
So I think we will see the Street Profits defend against the Undisputed Era very soon. Maybe they'll lose the titles on TV.
Maybe.
Undisputed Era, they win the titles on TV.
It's quite a while until the next TakeOver, so I think we're going to have some big TV coming up.
Yes, definitely. They're doing some filming, and I think a lot of things will come into light about, FS1, possibly NXT moving to TV, or, hopefully not 2 hours. Don't want to do that. But there's a lot of things to come in the next few weeks, especially with these tapings happening tonight, essentially. So, Undisputed Era, I like when bad guys aren't wrong.
Yeah.
Like, they're like, look, you actually fucked us over so bad. And the storyline is like, William Regal's out to get them. Like, that was already been going on. So now it, can continue.
And, well, you can save the Roddy, as you said, calling his...
Roddy needs to come up. Wouldn't it be funny if the prophecy happens on TV instead of...
Just next week?
Just at Full Sail. Gets leaked out early, because it always does. Then we had the Poppy video, which I watched in slow motion 4 times. I love that match. That was my favorite match of the night. Io Shirai and Candice LeRae. And this... I love the new Bray Wyatt theme song. Bray Wyatt's new theme song, the remix of his old theme, the new metal version that The Fiend came out in, is runner right now for theme of the year, in my opinion.
Absolutely.
However, I can't find this Io Shirai theme online yet.
Damn.
If they could put the Fiend's new theme up on Apple Music right away, why can't I have Io Shirai?
So, question for you.
Okay.
LeRae versus Shirai, Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano. Who rated higher, according to the GRAPPL app?
Ooh, I mean, I would assume people were all like, yeah, the main event, Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole, crazy cage thing and all that. But, I don't know. I really think people liked Io Shirai and Candice.
Well, the 4 of us, I think, all said LeRae versus Shirai in our review. That scored 4 out of 5, which is pretty decent rating, but it was in second place.
Yes.
Yeah.
I could see that. Because then we go to a recap of that match. Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole. It's done. That they don't leave. There's nothing added to this. There's no reason to. It's over. That chapter is over. Johnny Gargano is quite possibly gone. He could be gone from NXT. What are we gonna do?
I don't know.
I'm gutted. I don't even know if I want to do this show anymore.
Stay here, Johnny.
Yes,
come on.
Just stay here forever, Johnny. Please. Maybe now that you're best friends, you can convince him.
Yeah, I'll try.
All right, cool. Then there's the recap of Shayna Baszler and Mia Yim from Saturday night. Now, this one, the video package made it look a lot more exciting than I think it.
This is one I'd actually like to almost watch on TV on mute. I think.
Yeah, sure.
Because I think they were being ambitious with the storytelling, or maybe just where it was slotted in the show. Because they were definitely trying to tell a story during this match. Just the crowd didn't want it at that point, and Mia Yim's not over enough at the point where people are gonna be cheering for her and wanting her to win. This match this was the lowest rated match of the show. This was a 2.59 for Baszler versus Yim.
Yeah, it just didn't click for me. It just wasn't.
No, me neither.
And that's okay. However, I know that during this match you went and you fulfilled your prophecy. You collect all the NXT TakeOver cups.
Oh, yeah.
And this is where you went and got one, I'm sure.
No, I watched all the matches. I got my cup right at the beginning.
Who's on the cup?
Like NXT people.
All the NXT people. Because, your buddy Kelly bought the SummerSlam cup. Or no, someone else bought the SummerSlam cup.
Yeah, I didn't get a SummerSlam
cup. Get this. Half the cup, the people weren't even on the cup.
Roman Reigns, Daniel Bryan, I'm guessing.
Half the cup was not even on there.
Probably Undertaker.
So you fulfilled your prophecy.
Yeah, I didn't get the SummerSlam one though. I'm a bit disappointed.
We're an NXT show. Fuck it. Yeah. I wish you. I thought for sure we're gonna get the SummerSlam one too.
Yeah, You saw me.
Yeah, you were drinking out of different cups. So then we now go to the final match of this episode.
Well, there was the interview with Shayna Baszler.
Oh,
so
right. Sorry,
Kathy Kelly approaches Shayna Baszler and asks her, is there any competitor who pushed you as hard as Mia Yim did? And Shayna just replies, and still.
And still. Yeah.
I like this. It's kind of like when Asuka would just say mine for the title. I think short and sweet, and you're like, yeah, you're still...
Did you just compare Shayna Baszler to Asuka?
Yeah.
Remember when Asuka was in NXT?
Yeah.
Oh, man. That was good times. Shayna Baszler versus Io Shirai is where I want to see, because Shayna used the same move Io Shirai used. So, we need to talk about that. We need to talk about Shayna's, maybe gonna lose this title to the better heel, the better wrestler, the greatest women's wrestler of all time, Io Shirai. That's how I pronounce her name now. You can't just say Io Shirai. You have to say the whole thing. Then we go to the main event, the finals of the NXT Breakout Tournament. The winner will receive an NXT an NXT title shot of their choosing. It is Jordan Myles versus Cameron Grimes here in the finals. Now, this tournament has been a little iffy for me. It kind of just feels there.
Yeah.
In Full Sail, a lot of the people don't know who these wrestlers were because they're brand new wrestlers. Now, bringing out two of these guys, this is supposed to be the finals of this tournament. The crowd didn't know who they were, obviously.
Oh, this was so quiet.
Yeah, it got very quiet. I just, I can't blame people because a lot of people don't watch NXT. They just watch the takeovers, and you know who you are.
I think there are, a lot of people don't watch the TV, but I think even if you don't follow the independent scene, names like ACH and Trevor Lee, you've heard mentioned. So I think if you saw that and you weren't sure what was going on and saw ACH Trevor Lee, might get a slightly bigger reaction. But yeah, this was very quiet. Yeah,
the crowd didn't really care or know who they were, which is unfortunate because both these guys are good. This match starts off with Myles. He's working the leg early of Cameron Grimes because we know that Cameron Grimes, loves to do that stomp, that jumping stomp that he does so well. The move he made and does it amazing. So at least there's a story here where there's a beautiful dragon screw from Myles. He does a few in this match. He's been watching the G1 with Tanahashi. He takes over. He has control over Cameron Grimes. They go on the outside, and Grimes hits the Superman forearm right to the head. They go back in the ring. And this is where I got a little upset. It was just about to pick up. The match had just started, and they go to rest holds. And I'm like, guys,
this is what I put. This is the biggest match of your career, and you're starting the match with a headlock.
I couldn't believe
what
this.
The hell?
The crowd is already asleep. They don't know who you are.
They haven't reacted to your entrances at all.
And you're going to put that on? I don't know whose idea this was, but
and you never really see this in any takeover matches, any NXT matches. It's very rare they do the rest holds. There's loads of submissions, but that's all story and leading to something and working apart. Oh, this annoyed me and disappointed me.
Yeah, this actually really disappointed me because I've been saying I love Cameron Grimes. I'm a big fan of Jordan Myles as well. They're two on the smaller side, really fast paced. They have hard hitting moves, and instead they're putting chin locks and they're putting little shitty rest holds. I'm like, why? You know the crowd doesn't know who you are.
Yeah.
You know. Maybe they do it on purpose because they want the crowd to not when you go to a concert and the opening band kind of always just sounds a little shittier than the main band.
We've heard about that on sort of main roster, where if there's two no DQ matches and the first one, what was it? The Dean Ambrose Brock Lesnar one.
Sure.
In that interview,
one of the worst matches.
Ambrose wanted to do so much, and they're kind of like, Shane McMahon's having the big spots later. So it's like, great, awesome, whatever. I don't feel that's ever been the case in NXT. Think about it. Pete Dunne and Tyler Bate, who were unknown to the main crowd, killed it in Chicago. Stole the show with probably 3 matches to go after it.
Yeah.
I don't think that's that's the case in NXT. I don't know.
This was just a weird thing because they just like the match hadn't even been going on for that long, and they're already doing rest holds and no big moves. I was like, why would you put me to sleep? And I'm watching this, taking notes, and I'm like, you have all my attention, and you're still managing to lose it.
Yeah.
When I'm watching it. It was a big disappointment. The match does continue. There's more dragon screws from Jordan Myles. He's doing a bunch of backflips and handsprings. Really cool. He ends up hitting a penalty kick off the apron there. Is it Beth saying that Cameron Grimes' teeth are all the way in the nosebleeds? Very funny, Beth. Then there's an X-Plex from Cameron Grimes. They call it an Orange Crush, but it wasn't an Orange Crush. Orange Crush is where you flip the guy and then catch him for like a powerbomb kind of thing. This was more just of an X-Plex. Only a two count there. Myles then hits a beautiful bridging German suplex of how he actually advanced into this spot. But Grimes kicks out of that. They're running back and forth, running the ropes at each other, and Cameron Grimes hits a Spanish fly for a 2 count. He then hits a nasty-looking roundhouse kick, then tosses Myles into the turnbuckle, but Myles does this really cool block from getting thrown into the turnbuckle, blocks that with his foot, hits a brain buster, climbs up top, hits the Midnight Stars, what he calls his 450 splash, and Jordan Myles pins Cameron Grimes to win the NXT Breakout Tournament here on the pre-show of TakeOver Toronto. I wouldn't say it was a bad match, but I was very heavily taken out of it.
For these two and the opportunity they were given, I don't think they really rose to the occasion.
No.
I know last week you and Scrump especially were joking about how Seth Rollins is uncool.
Right.
I think Jordan Myles is the lamest guy I've ever seen in WWE.
Yeah.
So, like, the sort of rip-off Supreme, but Super's lame. The smiles, lame. The way he took the contract, he looked like a little boy. Lame. I think he's nerdy. I'm not taking away his ring work is good. Like, I've seen ACH a bunch. He's great.
I think that's what we were saying.
But
we were like,
so fucking
what's your character?
lame.
I love anime. Oh, okay.
I was like, what's your gimmick, guys? I'm grimy. I smile. Cool. Great. Go out. Have a good match. No.
Yeah, it's unfortunate because I've watched both of these guys for years.
Yeah,
in
this whole
different companies.
tournament was a dud. For me.
Think so. I think it really was. It just didn't do what it really needed to do. NXT needed to it doesn't need to. We have our guys lined up, but it would have helped to like push some next things into some things, and you can't just throw people like they literally have, I feel WWE and I guess NXT, they're just throwing shit at the wall lately and seeing what sticks. And if it sticks, great. If it doesn't, okay, we're moving on. And I think people will be moving on again.
I liked it being a change up. I always like
new things,
tournaments and things because
cool.
it fills time with a purpose. We needed to know more about these guys. The matches didn't quite hit it for me. There's not a single match in the whole tournament where I went, that was killer.
No one was talking about match of the year.
I think the thing that stood out of the whole tournament to me was Dexter Lumis.
Yeah, very interesting.
And because he had the most defined character, was interesting, different, and had a couple of cool spots, which was like I wasn't expecting from a guy that size. And he got knocked out first round. Well, so for me, he was the winner in this thing.
And he is named after Dr. Loomis, and he had Stranger Things as a theme song, essentially. So yeah,
it was great.
He is the standout of this team.
So yeah, William Regal came out, gave him the contract. Do you see this being I don't see this being a takeover cash-in. I imagine it's TV.
TakeOver War Games.
What title do you see him going for?
I think it should be Jordan Myles versus Velveteen Dream on TV, and like just let them have like a good match, hopefully, and then that kind of helps. Like you have to get over by having good matches. Like I'm sorry, you have to your character has to hit, and you have to have good matches. Some people have terrible characters and they have good matches and they click. Like say what you want about most of the main WWE guys, but like Roman Reigns, he has good matches. So that's why he's in that spot.
Yeah.
If he wasn't having good matches, he wouldn't be in that spot. No. So you need that, especially for myself. Like I've watched this for a while. We do this silly show. I can tell when it's not good.
Yeah.
And you can show bad wrestling. You can show Okada Kenny to a non-fan that's never seen wrestling in their entire life, and then you could show them like Alicia Fox versus someone. I don't know. Like you could show them a really shitty match after the fact, and they could be able to tell you what is good and what isn't. And it's like, yeah, something's got to click there. I don't know.
They'll come out with that Alicia Fox match going, God, that fisherman suplex.
Yeah, I used the wrong one there. Alicia Fox versus any bar staff is my match. I think we'll see Jordan Myles maybe have a TV title match down the line.
I think Velveteen Dream's the obvious choice. You know what I would quite like is him to go, because I think the tag division's pretty, like, you haven't got a lot there.
No.
Find a partner.
Cameron Grimes.
Cash in. Yeah, sure. Go like, we had a killer match. You didn't, but we had a killer match. Let's go for the tag titles.
Sure, that would be respect, but I don't think that's going to happen. Well, hey, Velveteen Dream won the Worlds Collide. That's how he won his title shot for the North American title. He didn't choose the NXT title. He chose the North American. So it could go that way again. Like picking, not always picking the main title is cool too. Yeah. They just don't do that with Money in the Bank because it's for the main thing. But I want to see where this goes. But I'm worried that now NXT just has so many cooks, too many cooks that are just chilling now. Because what about your Keith Lees and your Dijaks? Who's back, by the way? Dijak looked like he was working some shows with the Taz Mission.
Oh, yeah?
Have you heard about this?
No.
He got in some Twitter thing with Taz.
Right. He
started tweeting publicly, "Hey, Taz, can I use a submission? Hey, Taz, can we talk about this?" Matt Riddle uses subs the tweet and goes, "Why are you asking permission? He doesn't own this move. It's wrestling. No one owns moves in wrestling. You look like a chump." This is Riddle tweeting him. Taz responds and says, you can't just take a move. It's my move. Blah, blah, blah. But now has graced him. They've clearly patched things up and graced him. But I'm kind of on the side of Matt Riddle. Oh, sorry. Did you create this submission hold that was created in actual fighting years and years ago? Or now that because it's in wrestling that you can't do it?
Depends on the move. Something like... I feel something like the stunner.
Yeah.
Something
100%,
so...
Yeah.
Yeah. But that's just a... It's
just a
chokehold.
Yeah, I don't understand that at all. And I'm a huge ECW fan, and watching old Taz was great. But also, Dijak doesn't need that move, I don't think. But he's using it as a finish, I believe.
Okay.
Taz Mission. So look forward to seeing him. But there's just so many guys that are just chilling. And now there's you added 6-8 more here. So it's like, dude, there's...
Yeah.
Too many cooks in NXT. However, as we gain one, we lose one.
Yeah.
Pour a little out for Johnny Wrestling.
We've gained about 12 and lost one.
And I'd say we're still down another 12 because Johnny Gargano counts. He's worth
16.
Yeah, oh man, what are we going to do?
I have a few more little interesting facts from GRAPPL for the TakeOver just gone. So I didn't mention the Cole Gargano score. They rated a 4.09, so very, very close to LeRae and Shirai. Over the trilogy of Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano, where would you rate this match?
Out of the three of them?
Out of the trilogy, yeah.
Yeah, I think I said this was my least favorite of the trilogy, yeah. Not that I'm saying this was a bad match. I quite enjoyed this as a match, watching this, but I just... it's subjective. I like a good classic wrestling match.
Absolutely.
And I would say... And I was, as well, I was there for TakeOver New York, but I enjoyed the one from 25 as well. I'd give both those matches five stars easily. So I'd give this one 4 or something like that.
So this one was third. It's rated 29th highest rated TakeOver match in the last 3 years.
Okay.
The match from TakeOver 25 was a 4.54 and is the 7th highest rated TakeOver match in the last 3 years. And then New York, which we were at, 4.59, the 6th highest rated TakeOver match in the last 3 years.
Ooh, see, no, I would put Adam Cole versus Johnny Gargano as my number one TakeOver match of all time.
Okay.
From New York. I'm going to get some eyes, but I know I don't even have to ask you what your favorite TakeOver match of all time is.
And then one more interesting thing. LeRae versus Shirai has hit the top 3 women's matches in TakeOver over the last 3 years.
Nice.
With 4. So it's actually the second in the last 3 years. Ember Moon versus Asuka from Orlando is third with 3.87. And Ember Moon versus Asuka from Brooklyn 3 is first with 4.12.
Wow.
Obviously, Bailey Sasha was
Years ago.
So this is just the last 3 years. But yeah, thank you, GRAPPL Gareth, for
cool.
all these stats. And follow him on Twitter, GRAPPL Gareth, and get the GRAPPL app for free.
Well, that's quite interesting. I would put Io Shirai, and I would be amazed if they don't get some crazy push from this. Like, if I'm Triple H, I'd be like, damn, ladies, you just killed it. Like, legit.
Yeah.
Like, you need to be pushed to the moon, both of them. I would like to see a rematch from those two. I think that isn't over. You also don't need the title on it, but it would be cool
I
with
think
Io
you can
Shirai.
get there. Shayna's had the title a long time. I want to see a clear plan of how to get it off her. I don't want to do the just vacating thing.
Yeah. None of that.
And I'd like, a clear story and a good finish to her title reign, and then transition it to Io and Candice.
Oh, because like Io is just like the greatest thing. My mom was watching breakfast television, like our morning news live thing here in Toronto on Monday, and they had Seth Rollins after his big win on SummerSlam, and they were like showing clips of the whole weekend. And she's like, yeah, they had this really greasy dude on with like long hair. He was kind of small, but like he was on, and he said he just won some title from, is it that Brock guy? I was like, yeah, you beat Brock. She's like, oh, okay. Was that like the best match? Was that the big match? She's like, she's like just trying to entertain me.
Yeah.
She's like, did you like that? Like, what did you watch? And I was like, oh, like my favorite was probably of the whole weekend was these two women. And she's like, what? I'm like, yeah, it was this like American versus Japanese women. My mom's like, what? She just didn't understand. And then I was like, listen, Mom, I like Japanese women. I like American women. I like I like women's wrestling now. And she's kind of like, oh, you know what? Like, that's pretty cool that they're like, you're saying that you like the women's matches more than guys' matches? And I'm like, 100%. Like, things have totally changed in the shift of wrestling in the past few years. And that's just coming from someone who has my mom has no idea about wrestling.
Yeah.
I don't live in my house, but I live with her. She doesn't know what it is. So I was like explaining, like, yeah, I'm a guy and I like women's wrestling more than men's sometimes. They got to show these, like, what is it? Chris Jericho one time, he was like, yo, if you can do it better than the men, you got to fucking do it then. You got to show these guys. You can't be fucking lazy. You can't be going putting rest holds. You got to go put choke holds with your legs. The Black Lotus hold thing. Yeah, I love that match. I can't wait for some more Io Shirai. And I know a lot of people agree. On our forum, Post Wrestling Forum, we're going to do some feedback here. Forum.postwrestling.com was where we posted, and we'll read it here on the show. I have a feeling there's not a lot to talk about this week's thing, but should we read some?
Yeah, go for it.
All right, we go to Eva from London, Ontario. I was at TakeOver and unfortunately could not leave feedback because I was on a bus back from the city, but here are some little recaps. Breezango was fun live. That was my first time doing the Fandango hand gesture and laughed at how infectious it was. The breakout match was good for what I saw. I was busy taking pictures with my phone to practice, so I knew how to take pictures. That works. The title tag match was a fun opener. Shirai and Lorray was match of the night. Nothing more to say about that. The triple threat was great, but not as good as I expected it. There's two things. Baszler is not everyone's cup of tea, and I get Mia Yim is not that good of a babyface, but Baszler was why I put down my money to go to this show. So if you're not going to cheer or boo, don't spend the entirety of the match talking right into my ear about how both wrestlers suck. This was for the assholes sitting beside me. So, clearly, Eva, the Shayna Baszler superfan, continues on here about how awesome Shayna Baszler is. I'm sorry, Eva, but numbers don't lie. Our GRAPPL numbers here showed us that match sucked. And still not the greatest women's champion of all time, because she's not. And she goes to continue. Main event. Overall good match. Thoroughly enjoyed myself. Thought the cage stip was a bit overbooked, but Gargano should have come out as Puck instead of Wolverine. Yeah, well, you called the Wolverine thing, definitely. Keep up the good work, BDE. See you next week, Jobber Cops, which included Smash owner Sebastian Suave. Riddle flinging his flip-flops off was awesome.
Excellent.
Oh, yeah, we didn't talk about how that's next week on NXT. Matt Riddle versus Killian Dane next week on TV.
Or will it happen?
Exactly.
We have Rich from England, now in Toronto. This is not so much feedback, but questions for you both. With Bayley challenging Candice on Twitter to a fight at Clash of Champions, does that hint at a Gargano call-up to SmackDown, as the WWE doesn't like splitting up couples? Or more concerning, a Gargano call-up to 205 Live and Candice to SmackDown? We'll start there.
Bayley fears Candice.
I can't see that happening. A lot of them go back and forth on Twitter.
Sure.
I'd love to see that, but I don't see Candice going up.
No, not
right
anytime,
now.
Not anytime soon.
Gargano, I would like to see on SmackDown. I think that's what would suit him best. Put him with like Andrade. Is Andrade's on SmackDown? Who knows
Raw
these days?
He was on Raw this week.
Yeah, I'd like to see. They're doing a retirement story with Rey. I think Gargano Rey Mysterio is something I'd love to see.
Damn.
Before Rey hangs it up. But Gargano on SmackDown is better suit. I think. Please don't go 205.
Yeah, like it's weird with Gargano because there's a lot of people who don't like him, but there's a lot of, like, he's the guy that turns people so much. Like,
yeah.
A lot of people were saying, even at this takeover, because we were at the New York, and New York flipped. He flipped everyone when he won that title. But in Toronto, it was the same thing. Like, people flipped and were like, "Oh my god, this guy's so good." I think in WWE, in order to just not mess him up, like, put him on SmackDown and literally push him. Just don't fuck it up. Just literally push it.
Daniel Bryan Gargano. Damn.
Yeah, like literally all
many.
these things
Ali.
you could have.
Yeah.
You could have everything. Like, I think they're sitting on something and they don't realize that this guy is actually like so good. He could be so good. And it's a shame to say, because most people look at him and go, "No, that's not the wrestling I like to watch." And they're like, no. But you give him a chance, you watch his matches, he will do it. I think that's literally... At this takeover, I noticed there was like WWE fans. Maybe they buy the package deals with all the wrestling. They go, these NXT shows are good. These are amazing. But they don't actually watch this product. Or they don't really care. They're just there to chant their stupid WWE chants. But then they watch Gargano and they're like, "Hey, that was actually like a crazy match." I think that just needs to happen, because if not, he's going to get lost in the world of rest holds and 205 Live.
I hope not.
And Johnny 205 Live, baby.
He's got a couple more things. With the potential almost certainty that NXT will move to FS1, will we also see an increase in the number of NXT pay-per-views to once a month like the main roster? I certainly hope not. I don't want to see once a month. I've mentioned before that I think a kind of B-level, maybe live Full Sail show or something would be very good for them to use these other guys, use your Keith Lees, your Dijaks, your Kushidas, your people who haven't quite broken through to the to takeover level yet, but definitely deserve a 2-hour live show. I think would be great. Just in between, especially August through to November, that's a long time with no takeover. I think you could definitely fit something in October or late September.
They started these takeovers in NXT, and not every match on this thing was a banger. You would have like your real filler or your real jobbers, like your real come up guys that are really green. So like maybe some specials like that would like.
I
so
think it would be great, but not takeover level.
Yeah.
Like, don't promote it as that. Be like, we're just NXT Live this Wednesday. Asked about Pete Dunne. He feels like they were teasing a feud with Dream as he screwed him out of a win at TakeOver.
He didn't screw him out of a win. He pinned him.
He grabbed the arm of the ref, so the ref couldn't count.
That's wrestling.
But still, it's no DQ. However, if the Undisputed Prophecy happens, where does Pete fit in if they want the belt on Roddy? Also, Pete doesn't seem keen on a permanent move to the States, but he is a star in my opinion and wasted if they keep him in NXT UK. Look forward to hearing your thoughts. Cheers.
Yeah, I love Pete Dunne. I do see the negatives that you like his promo and stuff like that, but I do think he should have been on Raw about a year or so ago. I especially when he came out in that Raw in the UK, he looked like the biggest fucking star, and then he just disappeared, and then he hasn't been champ, and it's like, okay, well, what do you do next? It's tough.
I mean, as we've said, we've got a lot of time before the next takeover. You can have Dunne and Dream on TV,
sure,
and then Roddy, winner of that at TakeOver, or this all titles War Games people seem to want. There's a lot of time to move pieces around.
Peters, let's go to Pick Japan, he says, greetings. Kudos to the Bruiserweight for giving Kathy Kelly a bit of respect, for it seems the other backstage people don't really resent her. He's a gentleman. Io's promo video makes her out to be a star, and I love it, but there's always a but. But apparently this week when Kairi came out on Raw for her tag match, she wasn't smiling, and that got a lot of attention online. She was likely signaling that she and Asuka would lose again. This brought about some internet chatter, which led Brian Alvarez on a long rant that Vince isn't really racist, but Vince does prefer blondes, and that the really important fact is that Vince demands that his top stars speak English, and thus foreign talent such as the Japanese are never looked upon as top stars. My perception is that Io is as good as any talent out there, male or female, and if I had a promotion, I would make her the top star regardless of gender, but I am not Vince, thankfully. So, if it really is true about the hard rule regarding English, does this not doom Io, no matter how great of a worker she is? What do you all think is Io's likely upside, given the realities of WWE? Yeah, I mean...
I think you're spot on.
There's been such progression. I was just talking about women's wrestling. You wouldn't be saying that a few years ago because you would see bra and panties matches. However, there's also a lot more of different. It's not all just white dudes. It's now mixed of everything, and I like that. It's called World Wrestling Entertainment, and lately they've been definitely trying to go all over the world. But when it comes to the main product, it's always the same people.
Well, you just got to look at Nakamura, Asuka, Kairi Sane. All three of them are oozing with personality. Yeah. All three of them have captivated me and others for years, and I don't speak a lick of Japanese. Mm-hmm. It is from the top.
I can speak some Japanese.
Sure.
Shirai is kawaii.
But it is from the top, and I think a man of that age is going to be stuck in his ways.
What about the classic WWE fans? Now, we didn't talk about this on the show, but NXT has had some crowd problems. Have you heard about this? The fans in the live tours of NXT have been chanting things, and people have reported it, and it's apparently gone now to Triple H. Triple H has been brought aware of this.
Chanting what kind of thing?
People, you've been to wrestling events. People chant things all the time. I heard some things that made me want to turn around and punch the guy behind me at SummerSlam. He was chanting, not racial slurs, but racial things. And then when the women's matches were on, he was chanting things that made me want to fucking rip his head off.
Yeah.
And people were booing them. Yeah. There was a group of dudes behind me at SummerSlam, and they were chanting classic things assholes would chant at women, and people around them were booing them. They were like, don't yell that, stop, don't do that. And that's great, but think about it. Wrestling fans are also wrestling fans. Not every wrestling fan is like us or like other people. Some of them are stuck in their ways. They want to see the classic shit they've been watching for 20 years. They don't want to move forward, and they don't see foreigners. Listen, people are racist in this world, and it sucks when you watch, not even wrestling, but movies, right? Some people, you'd be like, oh, this crazy Japanese horror movie came out, we gotta watch that. They're like, why? It's Japanese. I don't want to. No, you can't change some people. They're stuck in their stupid ways.
Think as a whole, there is definitely more policing from, I think, majority of fans have evolved, but as you said, there's always going to be that asshole.
There's still going to be those people, definitely. The Trish match, people were chanting puppies and all sorts of just disgusting shit. Made me feel awful. I'm like, no matter how far we go, we're always taking a few steps back. And if you're saying, if Pick Japan here is saying that, Vince McMahon is he's not saying he's racist, but he's holding back because maybe they're not the classic American star. But it's unfortunate because you're right. Look at all these talent that have maybe they don't speak a lot of English, but they still kill it. Nakamura could be a huge star, and he just isn't. Maybe there is these stupid things going on backstage. I don't know. Vince McMahon needs to leave though. He also mentions Jordan Myles. Miles of Smiles is fun, but I don't know what he really does. I hope he goes after Dream next. He says, ahoy, may whoever made Kyrie unhappy sit on a mound of fire ants. P.S. I don't know why folks are hating on Shayna. Not only is she better than many of the female talent on Raw and SmackDown, but her portrayal as a heel has been one of the better heel acts in WWE, which notoriously have a hard time getting a real heel to get real heel heat. Real heel heat. That's hard to say. Yeah, Jordan Myles don't care, and whatever.
I like Shayna. I agree. I think she's one of the best. We have Pappy in Dallas, who says, when it comes to women's title match, I felt your post-show put all the blame on Mia Yim. Have you guys noticed that since Shayna won the title, her title defenses on takeovers are usually the worst matches on their respective cards? I'm not sure why Shayna gets a free pass. She can't work and she can't carry a match, which is why she should have never been given a women's title run in the first place. Her in-ring skills haven't improved either. She's the female Baron Corbin. Vince should call her up to put us NXT fans out of our misery.
Wow.
I respectfully disagree. I was not because I'm a Kairi Sane fan, but I really enjoyed her matches with Kairi. I think she's got a viciousness and an aura about her that you don't get in a lot of the wrestlers. I like her. He then has a comment just thinking we were maybe a bit biased on the TakeOver review as majority of us thought that the prophecy was going to happen and it didn't happen, and this marked our feelings towards it, and maybe in a biased way. I just have to say we mentioned at the start of the show that we maybe came across a bit too negative. It's a very different thing being at a takeover than seeing it on TV. You miss a lot of the nuances you get on TV.
Sure.
The commentary call out a lot of stuff. I liked that Street Profits won the first match because it threw out that prophecy.
Yeah, sorry.
And it made it unpredictable.
What's he saying? He's saying what? That
He's basically accusing us of being marks, that we reverted to being kids who threw their toys out the pram because they didn't get their way in what they wanted. And
sorry, I think a lot of people agree that this was not one of the best takeovers. I didn't say I didn't enjoy the show. I got my money's worth. I'm just saying that this was not. I've been spoiled this year of wrestling. I've been to a bunch of wrestling shows this year, like way too many wrestling shows this year, and I feel like this one is not one of the most memorable ones. I can't tell you this was not one of my favorite wrestling events I've ever been to. In fact, not even of this week. I went to SummerSlam, and I've just said that I enjoyed SummerSlam more than that. And I haven't even watched Raw or SmackDown in like 3 fucking months. So I don't know. I can understand someone being upset, but not because the prophecy didn't come true. That's just silly. Match quality, it just didn't really live up to the hype, especially when you don't have takeovers as many. Like WWE does pay-per-views every fucking month. Takeovers is like 3 months. So it's like you're building up to this. Already we're talking about war games because that's all we have to look forward to. So when you build something and then finally get it, you're like, oh, okay, that was just there. Then it's a little, takes. If I spent a lot of money to be there, I'm still going to enjoy it. And I did. I had such a fun time at it. I still thought it was a great show. It was better than a lot of shows I've been to, like some Raws or SmackDowns. It wasn't anything that blew my mind. And I don't think I'm wrong. And also I'm entitled to my own opinion. And I also did own up to it saying, was I too negative? Well, fuck you. I'm joking. But it wasn't that great of a show. Sorry, it wasn't one of my favorite wrestling things, and I'll stick by my thing. What was the worst takeover? What were we saying earlier?
San Antonio.
San Antonio. What was the main event of that? Yeah, exactly. I don't even remember. I just think that the Johnny Gargano, Adam Cole feud, the first two were really, really. Look, I'm going to put this: Johnny Gargano versus Adam Cole is my wrestling Back to the Future.
Okay.
I have a Back to the Future tattoo. I'm obsessed with Back to the Future. Back to the Future 1, it was groundbreaking. It changed everything. Adam Cole, Johnny Gargano won. It was groundbreaking. It was amazing. Back to the Future 2, a lot of people will say Back to the Future, they like Back to the Future 2 more, but they know Back to the Future 1 is better. But number 2 was a lot of fun. And then we go to Back to the Future 3, where they just threw too much shit into it. But you know what? Deep down inside, a lot of people still enjoy watching Back to the Future 3. Not me, but that's where I see it. Johnny Gargano and Adam Cole, the feud, the 3 matches is Back to the Future trilogy. That's how I now say it. Sorry for being negative Nancy. I can't believe I'm so negative. Now I'm upset. We go to PJ River. He says, not all WWE couples are together. I also think that TakeOver was not the best ever. Io Candice was brilliant. The tag match, the triple threat were really good. I did not enjoy the main event. Not my type of match. Way too long. Shayna Baszler is like a lot of brawlers. She needs a high flyer to run around her like Kyrie. Shayna versus Mia is like Roman Reigns versus Elias. It doesn't work.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's very similar to Brock Lesnar. I way prefer seeing Brock versus Daniel Bryan, Brock versus Finn, Brock versus, this recent match with Seth. You do a Brock v Roman or Brock v Big Show or something like that, it doesn't quite click as well. I completely agree with you, PJ. And finally, we go to MJ from NJ. So that's what happened before TakeOver. TailGate over HangOver. Also, I kept saying this all weekend, but the Breakout Tournament had no heat because it felt like a bunch of no names. Literally, no names from the indies. I would have cared way more if it was a bowler-esque tournament with names I had heard of, instead of already packaged guys who had no proper introduction. Oh.
MJ loves Io Shirai now. I think he's on the Io train. The TakeOver tailgate, a lot of people were saying that was the most fun they had this weekend. Just because you got to hang out with other wrestling fans, listening to the wrestling themes, drinking wrestling drinks. It's a lot of fun. The Breakout Tournament was tried to be like Bola. That's definitely what they were like trying to go. Like Triple H has already turned TakeOver into like PWG kind of, but the Breakout Tournament was definitely trying to get that hype from there, but it just didn't really click for me. I guess not for many people, but that's feedback this week. Forum.postwrestling is where we post it every week. You can post it up your questions or comments there for the show. I guess that's it. That's it. That's all. You can listen to us every Thursday, postwrestling.com, and wherever you get your podcasts. You can also go to prowrestlingtees.com/upnext and buy a t-shirt and help support us if that's what you're into. You can find me on these socials. I am on Twitter and Instagram. To check out all the photos from the TakeOver tailgate, go to my socials at the Brady.
And I am at Davie Portman. And you can also follow us on YouTube, BDE Official, where you can see that awesome video.
Yes.
What does Gargano versus Almas and Chill mean to you? Featuring the very best Johnny Gargano.
Your best friend.
And hopefully we'll have another video up there shortly on the tailgate.
Yes, go check that out. I know a lot of people are loving that video, so go check it out. It's amazing. So thank you for everyone who listened to our TakeOver post-show, everyone who came to the tailgate, every single person who's messaged us over congratulating us on the sellout and all that stuff. So it's just been a wild week. Now I don't want to watch wrestling for another week, which I'm probably going to watch the rest of the G1 as soon as I finish recording this. So thank you for listening, and we'll talk to you again next week. So goodbye, and be safe.
Ahoy!